There comes a quiet moment in every life when you realize you have spent too much time waiting for permission to become who you were always meant to be. You waited for the promotion before feeling successful. You waited for the money before feeling secure. You waited for recognition before believing you were valuable. Yet what if life has been waiting for something from you? What if the life you long for begins not when the world changes, but when your heart quietly accepts that it already belongs to you? This is a simple truth, yet it carries extraordinary power. The moment you believe something is already yours within, you stop chasing it as though it lives somewhere outside of you. You stop begging life to prove your worth. Instead, you begin living from a place of calm certainty, and that certainty gently reshapes everything around you. It has long been understood that the world faithfully echoes the beliefs we hold in silence. The conversations you have with yourself become the atmosphere in which your future grows. Every expectation you nurture becomes an invisible invitation. Every loving belief becomes a doorway through which new experiences quietly enter your life. Think about a traveler holding a map. Before taking the first step, they already know where they are going. The destination guides every decision along the journey. In much the same way, your inner conviction quietly directs your thoughts, your actions, your choices, and even the opportunities you recognize. When your destination is already accepted within your heart, every step begins moving you toward it without struggle. Many people believe they must earn confidence after success arrives. Yet confidence was never meant to be a reward. It is the foundation upon which success is built. Imagine trying to construct a beautiful home without first laying the foundation. No matter how expensive the materials, the house cannot stand. Your belief in yourself is that foundation. Everything else simply rises upon it. Have you ever watched a child pretending to be a great explorer, a teacher, or an artist? The child does not ask whether they are qualified. They completely enter the feeling of the role. Their imagination is so alive that it temporarily becomes reality. Somewhere along the journey into adulthood, many people lose that beautiful freedom. They begin asking permission from circumstances instead of trusting the quiet vision within. Yet your imagination still remembers. It still knows how to build futures long before they become visible. It still knows how to open doors that logic cannot yet explain. There is something remarkable that happens when you stop introducing yourself through your past. The past may contain valuable lessons, but it was never meant to become your permanent identity. A gardener never judges today's seed by yesterday's empty field. They understand that unseen growth is already taking place beneath the surface. In the same way, your current circumstances may simply be the soil from which something extraordinary is preparing to emerge. Imagine someone who has always believed they are unlucky. They notice every disappointment while overlooking every blessing. Now imagine another person facing the very same circumstances, yet quietly expecting life to work in their favor. They notice possibilities, kind people, unexpected solutions, and new opportunities. The difference is not the world they live in. The difference is the world they carry within themselves. Belief changes perception. Perception changes decisions. Decisions quietly reshape destiny. There is a peaceful confidence that comes from knowing you do not need to force life into submission. You do not pull a flower open before it blooms. You nourish it, you trust it, you allow it. The same gentle wisdom applies to your dreams. Stop pulling at tomorrow with anxious hands. Instead, nourish your inner life with faith, gratitude, and loving expectation. Perhaps today you are wondering how believing something is already yours could possibly change your financial situation, your relationships, or your future. Consider the person who truly believes they are capable. They invest in learning. They speak with greater confidence. They notice opportunities others ignore. They recover more quickly from setbacks because failure no longer defines them. Their belief becomes the invisible force behind every visible success. The opposite is equally true. When someone secretly believes they are destined to fail, they hesitate at every opportunity, they doubt every compliment, they question every possibility. Even blessings begin to feel temporary because they expect them to disappear. The greatest prison is often an invisible belief repeated so many times that it begins to sound like truth. But beliefs are not permanent. They are choices strengthened through repetition, and every new day offers the beautiful opportunity to choose again. Close your eyes for a moment. Allow your breathing to become slow and peaceful. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel every breath carrying away old disappointments, old fears, old labels that no longer belong to you. Imagine standing at the entrance to a magnificent estate as the first light of dawn fills the sky with shades of gold, soft blue, and gentle rose. The morning air feels fresh against your skin. The fragrance of blooming flowers drifts gently through the breeze. Birds welcome the new day with peaceful songs that seem to celebrate your arrival. The elegant gates before you begin opening without effort. There is no resistance, only welcome. As you walk along the stone pathway, you notice beautiful gardens stretching in every direction. Crystal fountains reflect the morning sunlight like liquid diamonds. Ancient trees sway gently in the breeze. Every detail radiates harmony, beauty, and abundance. Ahead stands an extraordinary home. Its large windows glow warmly. Its architecture feels timeless. It is not merely luxurious, it feels like peace made visible. You step inside. Soft music fills the air. Natural light pours through spacious rooms decorated with effortless elegance. Every corner reflects excellence without excess. Every space feels calm, warm, and deeply alive. You walk toward a grand window overlooking rolling hills, sparkling water, and a city filled with endless opportunity. Standing there is someone familiar. As they slowly turn toward you, your heart recognizes them before your mind does. It is you, not a different person, not someone luckier, not someone chosen instead of you. It is the fullest expression of who you have always been capable of becoming. Their eyes carry quiet confidence. Their smile reflects deep peace. They are successful, wealthy, admired, and generous. Yet nothing about them feels rushed or anxious. They move with the ease of someone who knows there is always enough. They welcome you with genuine warmth. Together, you walk through a bright office where meaningful work inspires thousands of people. You see books you have written, businesses you have built, projects that have changed lives. You notice messages of gratitude from people whose lives were touched because you dared to believe in yourself. You step outside onto a terrace overlooking breathtaking mountains. Luxury cars wait nearby, not as symbols of importance but as expressions of freedom. Your investments continue growing. Your finances support every meaningful dream. You travel where your heart desires. You give generously because abundance has become your natural state. You never worry about tomorrow because your heart rests in quiet trust. The wealthy version of yourself looks at you with gentle compassion. There is no judgment, only understanding. Without speaking aloud, they remind you of something your soul has always known. You did not create this life by chasing it. You created it by becoming the person who naturally belonged within it. Those words settle deeply into your heart. You realize the only distance between your present experience and this abundant reality was never measured in years. It was measured in belief. Steep closer. Feel their confidence becoming yours. Feel their peace flowing through every part of your body. Feel their gratitude becoming your own. There is no separation anymore. Only one identity, only one heart, only one quiet certainty. Remain here for a few moments. Listen to the breeze. Feel the warmth of the morning sun. Notice how natural abundance feels when you stop resisting it. Now gently return to this moment, carrying that feeling with you. Do not leave it behind in imagination. Bring it into your next conversation, your next decision, your next opportunity, your next ordinary day, because extraordinary lives are not built through extraordinary moments alone. They are built through ordinary moments filled with extraordinary belief. From today forward, let your thoughts become faithful companions instead of fearful critics. Let your inner words become seeds of abundance instead of echoes of limitation. Walk through life as someone who already belongs where peace, prosperity, success, and joy are found. The life you want is not asking you to become someone else. It is asking you to remember who you truly are. And the moment you believe it is already yours, not with forced effort but with quiet certainty, you begin living from a different place. That new place becomes the source of new choices, new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences. The world may appear to change gradually, but the heart can change in a single moment, and sometimes one deeply accepted belief is all it takes for an entirely new life to begin. As this new awareness begins to settle into your daily life, you may notice something quietly beautiful. The circumstances around you may not transform overnight, yet something far more important has already begun to change. You no longer wake each morning asking whether life will be kind to you. Instead, you begin asking how you can remain faithful to the vision you have accepted within. That single change alters the way you experience every hour of your day. There is a remarkable peace that comes when you stop measuring your progress by appearances alone. A seed buried beneath the earth does not question whether it is growing simply because it cannot yet see the sunlight. It trusts the unseen work taking place beneath the surface. In much the same way, there are moments when your greatest transformation is happening quietly, beneath the level of visible evidence. What feels like waiting is often preparation. What appears to be stillness is often life arranging itself in ways your eyes cannot yet perceive. Imagine standing before a large mirror that has gathered dust over many years. At first, your reflection seems unclear. You might believe something is wrong with you, when in truth the mirror simply needs to be cleaned. Every loving thought you choose wipes away a little more of that dust. Every grateful moment clears another corner. Every act of self-belief reveals more of the person who has always been there. You are not becoming valuable. You are uncovering the value that has never left you. This is why your daily thoughts matter so deeply. They are not small, passing moments with no consequence. They are gentle architects quietly shaping the atmosphere of your inner world. If you repeatedly tell yourself that life is difficult, your mind begins searching for evidence to support that belief. If you quietly affirm that life is unfolding in your favor, your awareness becomes sensitive to opportunities that once passed unnoticed. The world often reveals what your attention has already agreed to find. There is also wisdom in learning the difference between forcing and allowing. Picture someone standing beside a flowing river, trying to push the water downstream with their hands. The effort is exhausting because the river already knows where it is going. Now, imagine someone placing a small boat upon that same river and allowing the current to carry it forward. The destination is reached with far less struggle because they have chosen cooperation instead of resistance. Your life begins to feel lighter when you stop forcing every outcome and instead remain faithful to the identity that naturally attracts what belongs to it. You may wonder whether this way of living means ignoring challenges. It does not. Challenges still appear, but they no longer become permanent conclusions. They become temporary conversations asking a simple question: will you remember who you are now? Every difficulty offers you the opportunity to choose your identity again. You can respond as the person shaped by fear, or you can respond as the person who already knows they are supported, guided, and capable. The circumstance may be the same, but the person responding has changed completely. Think of a skilled sculptor standing before a block of marble. Others see only rough stone. The sculptor already sees the masterpiece hidden within. Every careful movement removes what does not belong until the beauty that was always present finally becomes visible. Your journey follows a similar pattern. You are not adding greatness to yourself. You are gently releasing the old fears, limiting stories, and borrowed opinions that have hidden it from view. One of the most freeing realizations is that abundance is not merely something you receive, it is something you express. A generous heart experiences wealth differently than a fearful one. A grateful mind notices blessings differently than a doubtful one. Even before financial prosperity appears in visible form, abundance begins revealing itself through your calmness, your creativity, your willingness to serve, and your quiet confidence that there is always enough for every meaningful purpose. Notice how nature never competes with itself. The sunrise does not envy the stars. The ocean does not compare itself with the mountains. Each fulfills its purpose with complete peace. Yet people often spend years comparing their chapter to someone else's story. They see another person's success and quietly wonder whether there is enough left for them. But life does not measure blessing by scarcity. One person's harvest never prevents another seed from growing. There is room for every dream that has been planted with love and nourished with faith. As this understanding deepens, you may begin treating ordinary moments differently. A walk becomes an opportunity to appreciate the richness already surrounding you. A conversation becomes a chance to speak words that strengthen rather than weaken your future. A quiet evening becomes a sacred reminder that peace is itself a form of wealth. The more fully you recognize abundance in simple moments, the more naturally abundance expands into greater expressions. There will be days when old habits gently knock upon the door of your mind. They may invite you to worry, to doubt, or to return to familiar patterns of thinking. You do not need to fight them. Simply recognize them as visitors rather than permanent residents. Welcome only the thoughts that belong in the home you are building within yourself. Every thought you accept becomes another piece of furniture in that inner home. Fill it with hope, gratitude, courage, and expectation until those qualities feel as familiar as your own heartbeat. You may also discover that inspired action begins to arise without strain. Ideas appear that once seemed beyond your imagination. You feel drawn toward conversations that open unexpected doors. You begin learning new skills, not because you fear being left behind, but because growth has become an expression of the person you already believe yourself to be. Action born from confidence feels entirely different from action born from desperation. One seeks to prove worth, the other simply expresses it. As the weeks and months unfold, your relationship with time itself begins to soften. You no longer ask, "Why is it taking so long?" Instead, you quietly smile and ask, "What beautiful things are being prepared that I cannot yet see?" That simple question keeps your heart open instead of anxious. It reminds you that life's greatest gifts often arrive fully formed because they were given the time to develop in unseen places. Perhaps the most beautiful transformation of all is this. You stop searching for signs that your life is changing because you become the sign. Your calm becomes evidence. Your confidence becomes evidence. Your gratitude becomes evidence. The peace with which you carry yourself announces that something within has already shifted. And when the inner change becomes steady enough, the outer world begins reflecting it with remarkable faithfulness, revealing yet another deeper truth waiting just beyond the horizon of your present understanding. Before you step back into the rhythm of your life, remain here for one final quiet moment. Do not rush away from this feeling. There is something precious happening within you. It is not excitement that quickly fades. It is not borrowed motivation that disappears tomorrow. It is something gentler, something deeper. It is the quiet recognition that the life you have been searching for has never been separated from the person you truly are. Perhaps this is what your heart has been trying to remember all along. You were never created to live beneath fear. You were never meant to measure your worth by temporary circumstances. You were never meant to introduce yourself through yesterday's disappointments. The deepest truth about you has always remained untouched by every setback, every delay, every season of doubt. Beneath every experience, there has always been a quiet center within you that knows peace, knows abundance, and knows possibility. Return there often. It is the richest place you will ever visit. From this day forward, let your first responsibility be the care of your inner world. Before you seek to change another circumstance, gently ask yourself what you are believing. Before you speak about your future, listen to the words you have already been speaking within. Every thought is a beginning. Every inner conversation is a seed. Every belief quietly reaches beyond the present moment and prepares tomorrow. Life listens more closely than most people realize, not only to the words spoken aloud, but to the silent ones repeated in the privacy of the heart. So let those words become worthy of the future you desire. When you speak to yourself, choose kindness. When you imagine tomorrow, choose possibility. When uncertainty appears, choose trust. When fear asks for your attention, answer with remembrance instead. You are not pretending that life is beautiful. You are choosing to become the person who can recognize its beauty. That choice changes everything. Carry yourself as someone who has already received the greatest gift, the certainty that your life has meaning and that your future is not being shaped by accident. Walk with quiet confidence, not because every answer has appeared, but because you have learned where the answers are born. They are born in awareness. They are strengthened by faith. They become visible through consistent belief. Let gratitude become the rhythm of your days. Be grateful before the breakthrough. Be grateful before the opportunity. Be grateful before the evidence. Gratitude is not merely appreciation for what has happened. It is the peaceful recognition that goodness is already unfolding, even when it cannot yet be measured by the eyes. This is the kind of gratitude that changes a person from within. As your heart becomes grateful, it becomes spacious. As it becomes spacious, hope finds room to grow. As hope grows, courage quietly follows. And where courage lives, new possibilities are welcomed without fear. Remember that abundance is not only something you hold in your hands, it is something you carry in your spirit. A peaceful heart is abundant. A generous mind is abundant. A loving presence is abundant. A person who believes in possibility has already stepped beyond the boundaries that keep so many people confined. Guard that abundance carefully. Do not allow temporary appearances to persuade you that your deepest truth has changed. Clouds may cover the sun, but they never extinguish its light. In the same way, difficult seasons may pass across your life, but they cannot diminish the quiet power that already lives within you unless you surrender your belief to them. Stand gently, stand faithfully, stand as someone who remembers. There will come a day when you look back and realize that the greatest turning point in your life was almost invisible. It was not marked by applause or celebration. It happened in the silence of your own heart, when you decided that your inner voice would no longer speak the language of limitation. That decision became the beginning of everything else. From that moment, your choices changed, your expectations changed, your relationships changed, your opportunities changed, not because the world suddenly became different, but because you did. Never underestimate the influence of a single faithful thought repeated with love. Never underestimate the quiet strength of believing in yourself when no one else yet understands your vision. Never underestimate the power of living each day as though your deepest hopes are already taking root beneath the surface. That is how extraordinary lives are formed. One loving thought, one faithful word, one courageous belief, again and again. So, as you leave this moment, carry no burden except the joyful responsibility of choosing your inner life with wisdom. Let your mind become a place where hope is welcome. Let your heart become a home where peace is never a stranger. Let your words become gentle promises that your future will gladly fulfill. And whenever life asks you who you are, answer not with the memory of your past, but with the vision you have chosen to live. Walk forward knowing that every thought is creating, every word is planting, every belief is becoming. The life you desire is no longer waiting for permission to begin. It is quietly unfolding through the person you choose to be today. Rest in that truth, live from that truth, and let every sunrise remind you that the richest treasure you will ever possess is the unwavering conviction that what you lovingly believe within will, in its perfect time, become the beautiful reality you are privileged to live.